You might be destroying your reputation without even realizing it. There are habits that seem harmless, almost invisible, but slowly they erode the respect people have for you. And the worst part is, you might be repeating these patterns every single day, unaware of the damage they're causing in your personal and professional life. In today's video, I'm going to show you the 4 toxic habits that are silently sabotaging your image. If you want to be taken seriously, respected, and remembered, you need to know and eliminate every single one of them. Before we begin, a special thank you. The Stoicism Everyday channel exists because of you. Every comment, every like, every time you share a video, it has given us the real motivation to continue producing this content with even more depth and intention. Watching this community grow, reflect, and transform is what drives us. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for walking with us on this journey of self-knowledge and daily evolution. I'm truly grateful. When respect disappears, it's rarely by chance. It's the result of small actions or omissions that, over time, accumulate a silent cost. And if there's one philosophy that helps us see these patterns clearly, it's Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius, the Emperor of Rome, wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." A similar sentiment applies here. Worry more about what you do than what others say. Seneca said that the greatest sign of wisdom is to observe yourself with honesty. And that's what we're going to do here today. Look within, without masks, without excuses. We will identify 4 habits that seem small but have the power to erode your image, and even worse, your self-confidence. Throughout my life, I've made all these mistakes. And only when I started applying Stoic principles in my daily life did I begin to see real changes. More respect, more balance, and more clarity in my relationships. So, if you're ready for this reflection, grab your coffee, get comfortable, because what's coming next may be uncomfortable but also liberating. Gossiping, the silent poison of relationships. The first behavior that destroys respect is perhaps the most common and the most underestimated. Gossiping. Yes, gossip seems harmless, almost like water cooler talk, a social bond, an innocent distraction in the middle of a routine. But here's the raw truth. Whoever gossips to you will gossip about you. And when you get involved in this game, even without malicious intent, you send a powerful and negative message. I am not trustworthy. I cannot keep secrets. I feed on the failures of others. I remember a phase in my life, back in college, when gossip seemed to be part of the environment. Conversations revolved around other people's lives. It was almost a collective pastime, analyzing who was with whom, laughing at personal choices, speculating about situations. A classmate, let's call her Sarah, was the most reserved. One day, it leaked among the group that she had a crush on a guy in our class. In a short time, this intimate detail spread and became a joke, and Sarah completely shut down. The way she quietly distanced herself left a mark on everyone who witnessed it. That's when I realized, gossip is never just a casual conversation. It always leaves a scar on someone. The Stoics, especially Epictetus, warned against this. If you hear something, don't repeat it. If it doesn't concern you, don't say it. Don't listen to it. Gossip diminishes you, and the people around you notice even if they remain silent. They start to wonder, if this person talks about so-and-so like that, what do they say about me? Being worthy of respect starts with a daily choice. Do not pass on what does not build up. Prefer conversations that elevate, that inspire, that analyze ideas, not people. As an old proverb says, small minds discuss people, average minds discuss events, great minds discuss ideas. Choose every day which of these minds you want to be a part of. Being unreliable, the word that loses its value. The second habit that erodes the respect of others, perhaps faster than any other, is a lack of reliability. We live in an age where everyone promises but few deliver. We promise to be there, we promise to help, we promise to change, but when the time comes, excuses, distractions, and silence appear. And here's a hard truth. When your word loses its value, you lose value right along with it. There was a time when I thought that being flexible and spontaneous was a virtue. I would make plans and then cancel them. I'd say, I'll definitely be there. And on the day, I'd decide to do something else. So until one incident showed me what this really meant to those who trusted me. A good friend, Emily, spent weeks preparing her birthday party. She planned everything with care: guest list, decorations, special details. And I, of course, said I would be there, that I wouldn't miss it for anything. But on the day of the party, I got tied up with another activity. By the time I realized it, the party had already started. I sent a rushed text, trying to justify myself. Her reply was polite, but cold. And right there I felt it. It wasn't just an event I missed. It was a piece of our trust. The relationship grew cold, because she understood, and rightly so, that my words were worth little. The Stoics saw the honor of one's word as a pillar of virtue. Seneca wrote, "Nothing is more valuable than the commitment of a person of integrity. Your word is your contract." Reliability isn't built with beautiful promises. It's built with small, consistent actions. Arriving on time, responding as agreed, meeting deadlines, being transparent about your limits, and above all, being honest with yourself. If you know you can't do it, don't commit. If something unexpected comes up, communicate with respect and in advance. People don't expect perfection, they expect consistency. In a professional environment, a lack of reliability can be devastating. You can be talented, intelligent, even charismatic, but if you don't do what you say, you will slowly be excluded from the most serious opportunities. Because at the end of the day, respect is born from trust. And trust is born from the repetition of your integrity, even in the smallest details. Interrupting others, when your anxiety speaks louder. Sometimes, losing the respect of others doesn't happen because of big mistakes, but because of small gestures that we repeat without realizing. One of the most silent and damaging is interrupting others while they are speaking. It seems like a trivial thing. After all, who hasn't done it? Sometimes we think we're just participating in the conversation, being dynamic, contributing. But interrupting carries a much heavier weight than it seems, because when you interrupt, even unintentionally, you convey an unconscious message. What I have to say is more important than what you are saying right now. And that message, repeated over time, erodes respect. Early in my career, I was exactly like that. Anxious, full of ideas, wanting to prove my worth. During meetings, I would barely let someone finish their sentence. If I disagreed, I interrupted. If I had a suggestion, I interrupted. If I thought I could add something, there I was, cutting off the other person's train of thought. Until one day, my manager, calmly but firmly, asked to speak with me. She said something I never forgot. "You are always ready to speak, but rarely ready to listen." Those words struck me like lightning because she was right. I wasn't truly listening. I was just waiting for my turn to speak. And that has a name. Egocentrism disguised as enthusiasm. The Stoics valued listening as a form of wisdom. Epictetus, who began his life as a slave and became one of the greatest philosophers of antiquity, taught, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, to listen more and speak less." From that moment on, I began to practice what I call Stoic listening. When I felt that urge to interrupt, I would take a deep breath and ask myself, does this really need to be said right now? Or can I wait with humility and listen until the end? This simple change in attitude completely transformed the way people began to see me. I became someone more respected, more trustworthy, more balanced, because truly listening is a sign of strength, not passivity. If you want to earn respect, practice intentional silence. Listen attentively. Let the other person finish, because when you learn to listen with presence, you not only understand better, you strengthen bonds and gain something rare these days: consideration, complaining, excessively, when negativity becomes your identity. We've all complained about the traffic, the boss, the weather. Complaining seems like a release valve, an almost therapeutic vent. But when complaining becomes a habit, it stops being a relief and becomes a burden. And the worst part, a burden that you spread. Constant complaining transforms the environment around you. People start to pull away without knowing exactly why. And it's not because you're a bad person. It's because being around someone who constantly points out what's wrong without taking action drains energy. I've lived through this cycle myself. There was a time when everything was a reason to complain. If it rained, I complained. If it was hot, I complained. If someone wronged me, there I was, stewing over it for days, until a friend, with courage and sincerity, said to me, "Man, it seems like nothing is ever good enough for you. Have you ever noticed that?" At the moment, I got defensive, but those words echoed for days, and they hurt because they were true. I had grown accustomed to the role of the victim. And the problem with living as a victim is that you give up your power. The Stoics teach us something fundamental. Do not complain about reality. Transform what is within your reach. Accept with serenity what is not. This is the essence of Stoicism. The rain won't stop just because you lament it. The traffic won't move faster because you huff and puff behind the wheel. But your attitude, that can change everything. From the moment I started observing myself and replacing complaining with action or acceptance, everything changed. If the environment was bad, I left. If something went wrong, I looked for a lesson. If there was no solution, I took a deep breath and moved on. This didn't make me a blind optimist. It made me lighter. And the people around me started to notice. Want to know if you're trapped in this cycle? Reflect. Do you talk more about problems or solutions? Do your conversations energize you or drain you? Do you have a habit of being grateful or complaining out of habit? The mind works like a radar. It finds what you train it to find. If you feed a negative outlook, the world seems like chaos. If you train a constructive outlook, you find opportunities where before there were only barriers. Respect is also born from the vibration that you carry, and no one respects someone who is always drowning in complaints. So, starting today, every time you feel the urge to complain, ask yourself, is this under my control? If yes, act. If no, accept. This simple question, if used with discipline, can free your mind and your energy. If you've made it this far, congratulations. It shows that you are willing to do the hardest work, to look within, because gaining the respect of others begins with something deeper, respecting yourself. Today we talked about 4 habits that silently sabotage your image. Gossiping destroys the trust that others have in you. Being unreliable undermines the value of your word. Interrupting demonstrates ego and impatience. Complaining excessively pushes people away and traps you in negativity. The good news is, all of these habits can be replaced with Stoic discipline, with active listening, with integrity, and with conscious action. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." I would say, the best way to earn respect is to be different from the majority, to be someone who inspires trust, peace, and presence. And if you take one step a day, one habit at a time, you will notice a subtle but powerful change in the way the world responds to you. Now tell me, which of these 4 habits do you recognize most in yourself? Leave the phrase, "I choose to be worthy of respect," in the comments below, and tell me which habit you are ready to transform. This not only helps to solidify what you've learned, but also strengthens this community of growth that we are building together. If this video helped you in any way, like it, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe to today's channel. Here, philosophy isn't just theory, it's practice, applied to your real life. See you in the next video. And until then, remember, you are the only one responsible for the energy you bring into the world. Bring what builds up and leave the rest behind.